Hey guys, Moldran here. With the expansion pack and the patch coming out next year, I decided to make a video where I'm gonna combine information on how you can prepare for the expansion release to get most out of it and to be like very good at the release already. Now the first thing is the Paragon leveling. Now as I mentioned in my previous video, it's definitely worth to level multiple characters to Paragon 100 now to get a big head start when the game comes out. You're gonna have additional points. You could have, for example, a lot more movement speed than others who only have one Paragon 100 character. You could have more damage, more survivability. The points are customizable, so you could get anything that gives you an edge, and this is really important. But I talked about this in my previous video, but there are other things that are also worth considering. Second important thing is the equipment. Now many people right now what they are doing is they are selling the equipment, whether it's Grow or many people in the auction house, they're selling their good Mempos, they're selling their good Echoing Furies and stuff. But there are two problems associated with that, or there are actually two big reasons why you should not sell your high quality gear right now. The first reason is everyone is trying to sell the gear right now and no one is buying it, or almost no one is buying it because people are not stupid. They're not going to spend a lot of money on the game now when they know it's going to be useless at level 70. So first you're going to have a hard time selling it for what you paid or for what you think you would get. But secondly, and even more importantly is, don't forget, let's not forget, the expansion pack comes after the patch. The patch is going to include Loot 2.0, it's going to include both endgame systems, Nephalem trials and loot runs and lots of other stuff. The only thing that the expansion pack that's going to be released after this patch is going to add to the game is Act 5, the new class, the Crusader, and the level cap to 70. So what this means is, if you keep your good gear now, then when the pre-expansion patch, just like in World of Warcraft, the patch 1 or 2 months before the expansion actually gets released, when this patch comes and introduces the loot runs or the Nephalem trials, with good gear, you're gonna be the person that's gonna like be able to do those things for gear. Like it could be, for example, that crafting materials drop in loot runs. It could be that new legendaries drop, and people gonna want those. Or it could also be that you get a lot of gold for successfully completing Nephalem trials. We don't know the rewards yet, but you're definitely gonna have an advantage if you have 300k DPS and 80k HP over someone who has, let's say, 50k DPS and 20k HP. So that's why I think it's definitely worth to keep the gear. Don't sell it, and the main reason for this is because the patch coming out before the expansion pack. Now another thing is crafting materials. As you can see here, crafting materials are going to be a big part of the expansion pack. Crafting is going to be useful again, and there are two things to consider. First, if you want to craft items, or if you want to enchant items with the Mystic, you're going to need at least one demonic essence. So right now it's definitely worth to save demonic essences. Like if you level experience, if you level your characters to Paragon, don't spend your demonic essences on crafting and compound items now. No. There are two reasons why you should not do that. The first reason is you're gonna need them to enchant your items in the expansion pack. You're gonna need them to improve item stats with the Mystic. And the second reason is, right now you would be crafting item level 63 items. But if you wait until the expansion comes out, they're probably gonna make it or introduce account bound crafted item level 73 items, which are going to be much better than the current items. This is also something that Blizzard staff said in an interview. They make it so that even if you have the best gear right now, as soon as the expansion comes, you're going to be able to find upgrade for yourself, even if you have the best installed gear right now. So this means that like the new gear is on a new level. It is much better than what it is right now, and crafting items now is probably not the best decision with the demonic essences. Just save them. Another thing is gems. Now, this is mainly for people who want to make gold, or the investors. Gems are worth considering for several reasons, because I think the price of ruby gems is gonna go up a lot. There are two reasons for that. First, many people gonna come back in the game and they need like those leveling gems. They wanna level fast from 60 to 70, and even after 70 wanna keep leveling the Paragon level, so they're gonna use ruby gems in the helm. But that's not the only thing. Crusaders are a strength based class, so 33% of all players, we did a poll with a few thousand votes, are planning to reroll a Crusader when the expansion comes out. So there's gonna be a lot of people playing those Crusaders, leveling them, and this means that there's gonna be an additional demand for ruby gems. So it could very well be that the prices for those ruby gems go up. And last but not least, it's about gold. Now first you have to consider that more gold is gonna drop. Like gold is gonna be easier to farm in expansion pack. Maybe you get gold from loot runs even, or Nephalem trials, I don't know that, but the gold per hour rate is definitely gonna go up. So what does this mean? This probably means that if you save on your gold right now, it's probably not the best idea, because 1 billion gold now is harder to get than 1 billion gold in the expansion pack. So the gold per hour ratio will definitely increase. But as I said about the gems, this is also interesting, because what this means, if it's easier to get gold and gems like go up in demand, it would mean that the gems are going to be worth a lot more. So for example, if a ruby, Radiant Star Ruby is worth 20 million gold right now, it could be that it's worth 100 million gold when the expansion comes. So it might be a good idea to save on gems. Like spend all your gold on gems right now, and when the expansion comes you can sell them for a lot of profit. But on the other hand, another thing that speaks against it is in the level 70 areas, maybe there's a new difficulty, maybe in Act 5, whatever, better gems might be able to drop. Like it could be that, for example, Radiant Star Rubies are going to be able to drop in the super new hard difficulty. It could be that gems going to drop in the loot runs or in the Nephalem trials. I don't know that. And if gems are easier to get, then it means that the price of them goes down. So if gems are really easy to get, it could be, for example, the Radiant Star gems going to have the same price as flawless gems right now, which is like almost nothing. And that's why I would be very careful with what you're doing. Same with Brimstones. Brimstone price has been going up a bit in the last days because it's also needed for crafting, it's needed for transmogrifying, but it's also very risky because there's a long time from now to the expansion, and the price is probably gonna go back to 5k or something again, because right now people find a lot of legendaries, make a lot of Brimstones, but right now they have no use. They're gonna be used when an expansion comes up, but that's much in the future. So it's really hard to like anticipate the market, the movements, but all you can do is just level the Paragons, save 71 essences, and yeah, try to figure out your way of investing or making money. There's a lot of risk involved, but it could also be high reward. If you're not so much into financial stuff or gold, it's probably better to just keep your gold and play safe so you don't lose a lot of it. So thanks for watching, I'll be back.